Titi, how
Good.
have you been?
Good. I've been great.
Oh, I love to hear that. I love the background.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
It's been about 3 years now since we had you here in Portland. I can't believe how fast time flies, but I'm glad we could reconnect today.
Yes, me too.
Yes, and I know the past 3 years have been super busy for you. We got all sorts of things to talk about. For people who maybe aren't familiar with you yet, though, can you take it back and talk about your story, where it all began for you?
I would say, it all began, when I made my transition to Baltimore, Maryland. I was going to art school, and at the time, I was interested in music and pursuing a music career, but I wanted to get my education first, so I kind of dibbled and dabbled in a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And then, once I graduated, I moved to New York, and I was there for like 2 years, and I kind of found a little bit of my hustle spirit just being in New York, living in Brooklyn. And I was working like, day to day 9 to 5 jobs, but also pursuing freelance opportunities like working for magazine companies and all types of like industry organizations and events and things. So after that, I think it was like 2008 where I was just like, I think I want to take music serious. So I moved back to Baltimore, and that's when I kind of established TT the artist and started making my way up, climbing up the ladder. And now today it's just like, now I feel like the world is kind of opened up for me creatively, not just in the music space, but in the art space and in the film space. So I feel really good about where things are at right now, and just, happy to always reconnect with my audience and everybody who's been supporting me.
For sure. And with that being said, I don't even know where to begin with you. So let's start with Have Mercy by Chlöe. It's
Yeah.
been a smash for her, and you were a co writer on the song.
Yes, yes,
How
yes.
did that all come together?
So basically, Sony, which is the label that put the record out, reached out to myself and my collaborators on an original record we did called Girls Off the Chain off of my record label, Club Queen Records. So I did this record about 4 years ago, and Murder Beats basically was inspired by the record, and he liked the lyrics on that record, and he took my vocals and implemented it into that track. So it feels like almost like it feels like I'm very much a part of that track. And so we were able to get writer credits for that, because a lot of times when you're sampling music, you're originally considered a writer. So that's basically how everything unfolded. And so that record is very much a part of me as much as it's a part of her. And so for
Absolutely.
me, seeing all the success of that record, it also makes me feel like I'm a part of that success.
And just knowing you and your music, I can so hear you in that song. So it makes so much sense when you started posting about it. I was like, yep, like that has TZ written all over it. That's so
Club Queen
awesome.
vibes, definitely Club Queen vibes.
Yes, 100%. And you've recently released your own track, Girl Boss, as well. What
Mhm.
inspired you to write this one?
Well, I mean, one, it's the season for me. It's like we are getting to a place where women are really finally getting the opportunity to take ownership of the things that, we've been building. And I wanted to own my girl bossness. And so, I tag team one of my longtime collaborators, Dave Berger, who's a rapper out of New York. And, we got together, we actually recorded in Brooklyn, and we got together, did that record. And a lot of times when I'm making my newer records, I'm about, where does this record go and who is this record going to appeal to? And I'm thinking about the licensing and television world, and do I see this in a film? Do I see this in a commercial or TV show? So I feel like that was like all those ingredients sprinkled into that particular song. And I'm super excited. We're launching our TikTok challenge, which is actually going to be like Girl Boss Bars. So we want people to like take ownership of their girl bossness, whether you're a guy or girl, whoever. Just like, who are you as a boss? And so we're gonna be kicking that off soon. We're gonna have some cash rewards. It's gonna be great. And I just wanted to also focus on something positive. As female rappers and all that, there's a high saturation of just sexually explicit records, and not enough to me of showing how we're actually navigating in our spaces without just trash talking and all that. Like, boost yourself up. But I just think we're just offering a different spin on it. Like, I love all the girls that are out here doing their thing, you know what I'm saying? And I just feel like, there's so many ways, there's just not one way to do it.
100%. I love the song and I can't wait for the TikTok challenge now. That's exciting. And you mentioned licensing earlier. I know your music has already been featured in lots of different shows and movies. Is there one in particular, though, that meant the most to you?
I mean, of course, my most closest and most, relevant one that has carried me throughout my career has been placement on Insecure, the show HBO Issa Rae Insecure.
Yes.
Because I really felt like I grew with that show from season one to now even season five. And, it just made me feel like I was a part of something that was a cultural phenomena. Insecure has been a show that has opened the demographic of what we see as representation of Black people, Black women, Black people issues, Black culture, all on the big screen. And it's a worldwide thing. So I feel like that one I felt the most personal. But my biggest one probably had to have been when I did the Super Bowl. I think it was Super Bowl 2019. And I did a record for TurboTax called All People Are Tax People. And it was
Dope.
a
Yeah.
bounce record. Yeah, it was a bounce record. And that was like probably a really big moment for me because it was the first time I actually like produced a record from scratch to finish that I, wrote, beat the beat out and all that. So that was like a really big moment.
Oh, that's so cool. And I'm glad that you mentioned Insecure because I love the show. I'm sad that it's ending. And I heard the song and then I saw you. You're in the episode, are you not?
Yeah, there's that time I made a cameo.
Yes.
And
I was
actually,
like,
that was around the time I was shadow directing. I was actually shadow directing that episode. So I was on set for like 2 weeks, and it was like doing this like party scene. It was like, TT, go wait in the line. I'm like, oh my gosh, y'all totally gonna see me. I have like neon green braids, and it's gonna be a thing.
I knew immediately as soon as I saw you in the line. I'm like, I know her. What's she doing on Insecure? That's so cool. Good for you.
That was cool. That was pretty
Yes.
cool.
And in addition to music, I mean, you do it all. I know the paintings behind you are
Yes.
all you. You direct, you do all these things. How do you balance all of these different mediums that you're working in?
Well, I feel like I compartmentalize things. So, if I have to make art, I'm kind of focused on that. And then it's really all about time management. So, some of my day might evolve around meetings and interviews and things
Yep.
like that. And then I might have to shift gears and get back to the art or client work. And then I also have to carve out personal time and make sure I eat because it can get
Right.
so hectic. Yeah, you can forget to eat. And so, I think really I realized it all comes down to time management and prioritizing. Like I can't always go out and do things that I want to do because I want to do them, because then it takes a few hours out of the work time that I need to finish the task. So I think the difference between me now than then was that like I really want to finish the task and get it out the way and move on, and then that opens up more personal time for me. So.
Absolutely. Since you do so many things, do you have a favorite medium or do you love all these different pieces of art in their own way?
That's a good question. I always get asked this question because I do so many things, but I would say the one medium that feels like it has become the glue is video production because I'm able to really like think about all aspects of art. So, in video, you have to do art direction, you have to do wardrobe and music and sound. So I think now I feel like being a director has been the most fun for me. It's been the most challenging as well. But I would say it's been the most fun because I don't feel limited. I can dive in and give input on this. And I love to see how all the elements come together, whether it's through a short film or whether it's through a music video or a feature. I love to see how the elements come together.
For sure. Well, speaking of your directing, I'm so excited for this. You have a docu-series coming out with Miss Alicia Keys.
Yes, yes.
And that comes out Thursday, is that right?
Yes, so the premiere is Thursday, September 30th. It's called Noted, Alicia Keys, The Untold Stories, and it's in partnership with YouTube and Westbrook. And so super duper excited. This is probably my biggest debut.
Ooh.
Aside from Netflix, I mean, Netflix was big, but I feel like that was my first time director. very DIY independent project, and then working with an agency and YouTube, and then also record labels and Alicia's management and her team. Like that was a whole different experience and different machine. So super excited about this series that's gonna drop. We're gonna drop all the episodes so people can binge it. And the
Good.
trailer is out right now. You can check it out on YouTube or Alicia Keys' page. And I'm super excited about it because I really think it's gonna be great. It's all leading up to promoting her new music, and so I'm just happy to be a part of that.
Yeah. Oh, I'd love to hear that there's also new music coming
Yes.
from Alicia Keys. What was it like working with her?
It was like very intimate. It was very special because a lot of the situations that we were in, I was the one interviewing her. So I always say I felt like Oprah, and
Yeah.
I was getting access to something that was very inaccessible to the average person. So I felt like it was a very intimate experience. And she liked that. She likes more of a like one-on-one. She doesn't like a lot of people in the space. She likes the vibes to be right, the energy to be balanced. So it was great. Like now I feel like we're friends and have this now connection. I got to meet Swiss also. He was just such a great energy when he was on set. He was very impressed by all the work we were doing, and so I feel like it's just like the beginning of a new relationship with people that I admire and seek to be like and seek to have the lineage and the legendary energy that they carry as artists that's been really driving our culture forward. So I would say it was definitely an experience of a lifetime.
Oh, that's amazing. I can't wait to watch Thursday and I can binge it. That's so
And
great.
let me know what you think, you
I
know?
definitely will. Titi. And as if you're not busy enough, did I see you're also releasing a clothing collection as well?
Yeah,
What is
so
the story on that?
I'm in the very beginning stages of it, and it's kind of something I've always kind of tiptoed or dipped my toe in, but I think a big part of me was just like not knowing, well, how do you do this and how do you do that? And so I've been open to take my followers and supporters on the journey with me because I feel like a lot of people are also figuring out, they might have a dream and they might want to do something. And, the older me would have been like, I don't want to say anything because I don't want to taint the success of it. Or if it doesn't happen, I'm going to look like a failure. But no, documenting that process, showing where you fail, showing where, your come up, I think it's just as valuable for people. So I've, took it upon myself to kind of open the doors to my studio and my thought process. And TT's Art World is definitely a collection that's like from the fabric of me. It's like something that I would wear is going to be universal. And, I want to just like really explore that side of me because I've been doing it for a while behind the closed doors, whether I'm designing for clients or whether I'm, designing for other people and myself. I just kept it very like here and there. Just here we go. Every time I dive in, it shows me that people want it. It's a success. But then I kind of pull back because I just don't know where to go, where to take it. So I feel like I have more clarity now. And so I'm tapping into other areas like the merchandising for my record label, the merchandising for me as an artist. I'm tapping into those areas more because now I feel a little bit more confident.
Absolutely. Do you have any idea or goal when you want that to be released?
Well, I think what I'm going to start with is doing drops. So we'll start with like, dropping pieces, limited edition pieces, and then, try to garner up some more interest, some more investment to be able to do something a little bit more full out, a fashion show and all that. So I think I want to run it like dropping campaigns and maybe connect it with the music that I'm dropping on my label or my upcoming new music. And then, try that out, see what really works, test the market out. I think that's where I'm going to start with my approach.
Yes, well, it's definitely something new to look forward to from you, TT. That's amazing. And you've already, at this point, worked and collaborated with so many amazing artists. I mean, Alicia Keys to name one. Is there anyone else who is kind of on your bucket list of people you'd love to work with? We're manifesting it.
Oh, yes. I have a bucket list of artists just from what I've, grown up on that I would love to be on their top their list as a director for their life story to document it. But definitely Erica Badu. I think we would have a lot of fun creating something. Lauren Hill, for sure. I would love to like get into that brain and get into that world. Like these are people that I've admired and who have been an influence to me. Queen Latifah, that's another person. As you can see her right there. Oh, look at that. Look, Erica,
It's
Alicia, Queen. That's crazy.
that's perfect.
That's crazy. So, I'm manifesting, like you said,
Exactly.
definitely. And honestly, Swiss Beats, I was like, oh my gosh, now that I've met him, I'm just like, what?
Yes.
Club Queen and Swiss Beats would make a banger. To me, it's like a no-brainer. Like it's gonna come though. I feel like that's gonna come. I'm gonna put that energy out there. So Swiss, holla at your girl. We're gonna do this. And he's a Virgo too, so we both got like Virgo energy. So I know it would
Mhm.
be it. Yeah, I
Yes.
definitely know it would be it. But yeah, I think those that would be like right now. Of course, Beyonce, but I feel like she's already gotten so many documentaries. But I would make something really different and special with,
Yes.
like I'm really into, people who have been doing, especially women. I think my focus definitely is women, specifically Black women, because I really believe that there's this thing where we haven't been exploring herstory. Like, why are we not talking about herstory and the contributions that women make to the entertainment business? So for me, I feel like that's like kind of where I would want to like put my intentions on. It's like, really, can we talk to our living legends while they're here and tell their stories? You
Yes.
know.
And Beyonce's such a great example of that because I feel like maybe even like a generation younger than us don't realize how long Beyonce's been doing this. Like
Oh
this is her
yeah.
whole life and the things that she's influenced just things wouldn't be the same without Beyonce. 100%.
Hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are there any newer artists that you've been listening to that have really caught your attention lately?
Yeah. I mean, I listen to music all the time,
Hmm.
and I see who's like kind of really on the brink. But I'm really a big fan of Brent Fayez. He has
Yes.
like, I love his sensibility when it comes to songwriting. I listen to a lot of dance music. My palette is just all over the place. So I'll be dipping in the 90s, I'll be dipping in the 2000s. I see a lot of female artists out there. Of course, I got my in-house people that I work with all the time. Like you mentioned Girl Boss, so my girl Day Burger. She's Ryan is an artist that I just put some music out on my label. I got an artist I work with named Megan Vice. Man, so many girls that are partnering up with Club Queens Records, and which is really where I'm trying to go with. It's like, I'm trying to bring new faces and new sounds to the table. And I really appreciate where music is. I'm a huge fan of City Girls. Like,
Yes.
I'm from Florida, so that is like when I see the City Girls, I see my best friends that I went to high school with. When I hear them talk, it makes me feel connected to home because I understand all of that. I've come from that culture, so City Girls is like really one of my top. I would love to collaborate with the City Girls, and I feel like they kind of open that lane up even more on a mainstream level of dance music and like Miami bass and stuff like that. That's more up tempo, but also can go commercial, mainstream, and urban radio, top 40.
For sure. I can see that happening, you and the City Girls.
It would be crazy.
Yeah, I can see that for
It
sure.
would be so
Well,
crazy. People don't even know. Like I would go, it would go crazy.
oh my gosh, I love all the things you got going on. I mean, there's just so many things, TT. You're so busy. So I'm gonna end it on one final question. Last but certainly not least, here in Maine, our state motto is the way life should be. So I want to know, according to you, what is the way life should be?
I feel like the way life should be is you're waking up and your pursuit is happiness because through happiness and feeling whole within self, all things come into alignment. And that's what you should be seeking. And through that, you will find your purpose. Through that, you will be able to live through your passion and what you like to do. And so I feel like happiness is the key to success.
Yes. Oh, yes. And that just goes right with the manifestation, you know? It's all just set in that mindset. That's perfect. Well, TT, thank you so much for taking the time to reconnect with me today. And I'm setting my alarm for Thursday. I'm ready for it.
Come on now.
Yes. Amazing. Take care of yourself until we meet again.
Bye.